Greetings and welcome to my Wednesday ramblings. I'll be a little bit naughty and tell you that the scene behind me is a photo taken at the Taste of the Huon on Sunday, and the people behind me waving the crew of the Bruny Island oysters, which are one of my go-to places at any festival where they're at, and they're always great, and I always get well looked after. However, that's not the reason for our ramblings today. It's an opportunity to have a quick reflection on our Sunday readings this weekend for the fifth Sunday of Lent, and obviously the fifth week of our message series, We Are God's Work of Art. Over these weeks, we've been looking at some of the themes that are essential to actually know something about what God's plan for us is all about. And it was obvious from the very first Sunday, where we had the story of Noah and the flood, that God was wanting his people to be his people saved by his mercy and love. And while many had rejected that call to turn back to God, Noah and his family were found worthy to be saved by the Lord, so that they might begin a new creation, begin anew to live the covenant that God had made with them. And over these weeks, we've heard the covenant that God made with Abraham. We've heard the covenant that God made with the people of Israel in the 10 Commandments. And we've heard how Jesus spoke to Nicodemus last week and informed him that there was this need to die to self in order to be able to understand God's mercy. And we heard those beautiful lines in John's Gospel saying, God loved the world so much that he sent his son to save us. This weekend, we're continuing with this same sense of God wants his people, wants us to be his chosen ones. And in the prophet Jeremiah, we have that beautiful passage that I will make a new covenant and write it on their hearts. And the letter to the Hebrew that the Hebrews that tells us that Christ was prepared to suffer so that we might be saved. And then in the gospel, we have again the story of Andrew, this time Andrew with Philip, bringing people to meet Jesus. A reminder to us that every time we have the opportunity to really let God be known, let God's way be real in our world, then there is something very wonderful that God does in our midst. He helps those who are seeking to come to know him. But sometimes they also need a guide, someone like Philip and Andrew who can lead them to the Lord. My friend, that's us. We can be the ones who help others to come to know the love of God and to experience his great love for us, his great mercy for us, but most of all, his desire that we should be his work of art. So I'd like to pray that this week, as we prepare for our Sunday readings, we might think about what God is inviting us to be part of, that we might know his love, his mercy, but most of all, that we are his special chosen people called to witness his love because we've been created in his image and likeness. Have a great week, and I hope you have a great opportunity to reflect on the scriptures this weekend and gain something powerful from them, because God really is inviting you into his presence. God bless and have a great week.